See them. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mindfulness Broadcast. We're going to get started. And this morning we are talking about joy. And I will tell you, joy is every time I do a values assessment, and as a coach, I do a values assessment a lot as I'm teaching it and sharing it with lots of people. Always my top value that has come up over and over and over for decades is joy. And I struggle with that sometimes in our current world, where there's strife, there's struggle, there's challenge, there's pain, there's trauma, there's a division, there's all of it is happening simultaneously, and not that it's new, right? But it is accessible to us and very much in our faces, and we are feeling the impact at work as as maybe our offices have opened and closed based on COVID numbers. And so much is how our numbers have changed, our work has shifted, the demands are different, our roles have shifted. And so I sometimes struggle with joy amongst all of that, and I'm guessing I'm not alone in that. And so I do a lot of work around it. And I recently was on vacation and read like a crazy person, book after book after book, and audiobook after audiobook, and podcast after podcast, all on my favorite subject, trauma and resiliency and joy. And so I'm just brimming with new concepts and ideas, and from that came a new practice that I created that I wanted to share with you. But one of the, I think Rick Hansen says this really well in a lot of his work, but in his work, Rewiring Happiness, I think is what it was called, Rewiring Resiliency, maybe, sorry, is he talks about, we're talking about our negativity bias, right? Which is, we all have, it is an inherent part of our brain, and we can go into a lot of reasons why it's there. For this purpose, it's there. We have a negativity bias in our brain. And the way Rick Hansen describes that is that with that unchecked and untrained negativity bias, it acts as Velcro for the negative and Teflon for the positive. And I love that phrase. Velcro for the negative and Teflon for the positive. And so what that means is that we can be cruising through our day, which is going quite well, right? Our car started, we didn't get a car accident on the way to work. We had food in the refrigerator. I have a body that can take me where I need to go. I have a brain that's functioning. Maybe I have prescriptions in my medicine cabinet that help me throughout the day and help my body function. I have my coffee ground and ready to roll. I have, these things in my life. I have internet that works. I have a door I can close to keep my children out of my office, right? There's all of these amazing things that I have. And then I get one email that triggers me, or that says, I didn't really like that. Or I read a survey on a workshop I did, your PowerPoints weren't meaningful to me. And guess what happens to me at the end of the day, right? And someone goes, how was your day? I was like, oh, you won't believe this email I got. Right? Like, never mind the 275 things that went right before my morning coffee. It's the one thing that went wrong that's going to stick with me. And so we can retrain that. We can be purposeful in that. And so there's a million different acronyms that can help us do that. I've created one just based on my style, the work that I've done. This is going to be introduced in the new Power of Intention workshop that's coming next week. So for some of you, if you're going to that, it will be a repeat, but let me share my screen. And that's what we're going to focus our practice on today. So can all of you see this cute little pug tilting? Okay. So the acronym is TILT. And it's based on, a lot of people have acronyms for different things. This is the one that I've created and that I really love and that I've been practicing in my own work. And it's influenced on Rick Hansen's work and different neuroscientists and practitioners throughout. So tilt starts with, so it's the idea that we're tilting towards the positive. We are on purpose looking at what is joyful, what is positive, what is happening in our life right now that is working. And it can be external, it can be internal, it can be on an intensity scale of a 10, like, I just completed my master's degree and I got this amazing job, right? That's like intensity level 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. And it might be that my coffee press smoothly pressed this morning and I didn't have to like, really work it to get it down. And that's not high on the intensity level, but it went well and it made my morning coffee lovely and it didn't spew coffee grounds on my counter, right? Like it was easy. And so it can be big, it can be little, it can be internal, it can be external. It can be that you realize you didn't yell when the inside of you said yell and react, that you took a breath first. It can be anything. It can be a flower, the buzz of a hummingbird that you can't find. It can be anything. You're noticing the positive, you're tilting towards it. And when we do that, what we're doing is inviting our brain to move up. We're inviting our brain over and over to move up. And we're creating a brain that sees a full picture. So our negativity bias helps us see the danger, helps us see what's wrong, helps us see what's broken, helps us see potential threats. And there are all these amazing things happening out there that we're missing because of our negativity bias. And so we're training our brain. And I got that email, and oh my gosh, I have a blue jay outside of my window or whatever it is, and my children are laughing in the background and I hear them, right? So it allows me to see and experience it all. So with tilt, what we're doing first, the T is taking it in, and we're going to use our practice to do that this morning. What is good? What is right? What is going well? What is building joy for you? I is immerse yourself. And in the power of intention, we'll go through all of this much more slowly. Immerse yourself. What does it sound like? Maybe what does it taste like? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Where do you notice it in your body? So you're taking a moment and putting it in your system, noticing where it is in your system. L is linger. I'm going to linger in it for a little while. I'm going to stay here for a whole whopping 15 to 20 seconds. Because we see the good and we're gone, right? But that email, that's going to stick with me for hours, right? So we're going to linger on purpose in what's good for like 15 to 20 seconds. We're just going to stay there for a while. And then we're going to talk about it. And what that means is I might say it out loud. Wow, that's amazing. I might, tell my coworker, stand up over the QB and say, did you just hear that song that came on? I love that song, right? Or remind ourselves, oh my God, this is such a magical moment to capture. So it could be internal, it could be external, it could be something you write, it can be something you think, but you're noting it. You're talking about it internally or externally. One word, it can be a prayer, thank you to your higher power. Thank you for letting me experience that. It can be gratitude. I'm so grateful for this sunflower that is blooming right now, today, in this moment, right? So simple. So the whole thing is about 30 seconds. Tilt towards the positive. And then we want to do it several times a day. We want to practice this a couple times a day, which might build a whole total of about 2 minutes into our day. 2 minutes. All right, so let's do this practice. So go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to go through this quickly. I know I took more time this morning to explain this, but I wanted to give you this tool. Close your eyes or keep your eyes open if you'd like, and just noticing that you're coming into a soft gaze. And we're going to start right away with this tilting towards the positive. We'll start our day with this. So first, we're going to take in the good, take it in. Take a moment to scan externally or internally. What is going well for you? Maybe it's bringing you joy. Maybe it just something isn't hurting this morning. Maybe there's something to be grateful for. There's always something to be grateful for. Find that moment. It can be large on the intensity scale. It can be a 0.5 on the intensity scale. Take it in. And then immerse yourself in it. So take a moment to maybe go through your 5 senses. Where do you notice that in your body? If it's something that you are looking at or seeing in your mind, notice the details. It might be a memory, it might be something you're experiencing right in the moment, or even something you're looking forward to. After work, I'm going to go get that ice cream sandwich at Clyde's. It's going to be cold. I can taste that ice cream in my mouth. Sweet. Just immersing myself in the details of it. And then I'm just going to linger here for a moment. Going to continue noticing, deepening it if I can. And then the final T and tilt. Talk about it. So in this moment, that will be an internal self-talk. I'm so grateful for this. Thank you to my higher power if that's something that is present for you. Look at this magic. This is such a wonderful thing to experience. I am so grateful for wireless earphones. I can move my hands and not get tangled in them. Right? Just saying it, expressing the gratitude, expressing the magic of that moment. And since we have another moment together, just noticing your body right now, noticing your mind right now. We are so rarely in our day-to-day lives immersed in the present moment. What does it feel like to come into it through the lens of joy, through the lens of purposefully seeing what is good, what is positive? Because that exists too. It's not to deny the challenge, but just to really fully see it all. And again, notice your breath in your body, beginning to close the practice of tilt. And then find your breath in your body. Notice how your shoulders might be moving or your belly is going in and out. Feel the breath moving through your nostrils and out of your mouth. Perhaps you notice a slight smile on your lips. And as you close, invite a softness between the eyebrows. And slowly opening your eyes and coming back together. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Again, in the chat is the link for the Mindfulness Masterclass on the 20th. I will see you all next Friday. I'll email out links and get everything updated for these so it's easier for everybody again. Be well. Thank you. Bye.